Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing well. In this video we're going to finish up with Daniel, chapters 11 and 10, 11, and 12. It's 2 pages, so it shouldn't take too long. In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a revelation was given to Daniel, who was called Belteshazzar. Its message was true and it concerned a great war. The understanding of the message came to him in a vision. At that time I, Daniel, mourned for 3 weeks. I ate no choice food, no meat or wine touched my lips, and I used no lotions at all until the 3 weeks were over. On the 24th day of the 1st month, as I was standing on the bank of the great river of the Tigris, I looked up, and there before me was a man dressed in linen, with a belt of fine gold from Uphaz around his waist. His body was like topaz, his face like lightning, his eyes like flaming torches, his arms and legs like the gleam of burnished bronze, and his voice like the sound of a multitude. I, Daniel, was the only one who saw the vision. Those who were with me did not see it, but such terror overwhelmed them that they fled and hid themselves. So I was left alone gazing at this great vision. I had no strength left, my face turned deathly pale, and I was helpless. Then I heard him speaking. As I listened to him, I fell into a deep sleep, my face to the ground. Now, these angels, this could be the Christ spirit speaking to him. Again, the Christ, his essence, spirit, is much older than Jesus of Nazareth. They combined to form one Jesus, the Christ. A hand touched me and set me trembling on my hands and knees. He said, Daniel, you who are highly esteemed, consider carefully the words I am about to speak to you, and stand up, for I have not now been sent to you. When he said this to me, I stood up trembling. It's interesting. Consider carefully the words I am about to speak to you, and stand up, for I have now been sent to you. I said, for not been sent to you. Okay, I misunderstood. So he wants him to stand up and pay attention and focus, which God wants us to do. Then he continued, do not be afraid, Daniel. Since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding, to humble yourself before God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to them. Again, he wants to teach us. He wants to teach us. To say, since the first day that you set your mind to gaining understanding. So as soon as you set your mind to wanting to learn about God, he knows you're serious. You can't fool him. He will begin to teach you and lift you up, and you will begin to experience things, open your heart more and more into that. He wants to change you and transform you. But the prince of the Persian kingdom resisted me 21 days. Then Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me because I was detained there with the king of Persia. Now I have come to explain to you what will happen to your people in the future. The vision concerns the time yet to come. While he was saying this to me, I bowed my face toward the ground and was speechless. Then one who looked like a man touched my lips, and I opened my mouth and began to speak. I said to the one standing before me, I am overcome with anguish because of the vision, my lord, and I feel very weak. How can I, your servant, talk with you, my lord? My strength is gone, and I can hardly breathe. Again the one who looked like a man touched me and gave me strength. Do not be afraid, you who are highly esteemed, he said. Peace, be strong now, be strong. When he spoke to me, I was strengthened and said, Speak, my lord, since you have given me strength. So an angel touched him to give him strength. So he said, Do you know why I have come to you? Soon I will return to fight against the prince of Persia. When I go, the prince of Greece will come. It will be Alexander the Great. But first I tell you what is written in the book of truth. No one supports me against them, except Michael, your prince. And in the first year of Darius the Mede, I took my stand to support and protect him. Now then, I tell you the truth. 3 more kings will rise in Persia, and then a 4th, who will be far richer than all the others. When he has gained power by his wealth, he will stir up everyone against the kingdom of Greece. Then a mighty king will arise, who will rule with great power and do as he pleases. After he has arisen, his empire will be broken up and parceled out toward the 4 winds of heaven. That's after Alexander left and passed away. It will not go to his descendants, nor will it have the power he exercised, because his empire will be uprooted and given to others, which it was. This is talking about Alexander. The king of the south will become strong, but one of his commanders will become even stronger than he and will rule his own kingdom with great power. It will be the Ptolemies. After some years, they will become allies. The daughter of the king of the south will go to the king of the north to make an alliance, but she will not retain her power, and his power will not last, because then the Romans come. In those days, she will be betrayed, together with her royal escort and her father and the one who supported her. Maybe speaking about Cleopatra, I'm not sure. She will be betrayed, together with her royal escort and her father and the one who supported her. So it could be Caesar, it could be Michael Anthony, whose father would have been the previous pharaoh. One from her family line will arise to take her place. He will attack the forces of the king of the north and enter his fortress. He will fight against them and be victorious. He will also seize their gods, the metal images, and the valuable articles of silver and gold, and carry them off to Egypt. For some years he will leave the king of the north alone. Then the king of the north will invade the realm of the king of the south, but will retreat to his own country. So I'm going to speak about Rome. I'll be speaking of Hittites, or other kingdoms in that part of the world. His sons will prepare for war and assemble a great army, which will sweep on like an irresistible flood and carry the battle as far as his fortress. Then the king of the south will march out in a rage and fight against the king of the north, who will raise a large army, but it will be defeated. When the army is carried off, the king of the south will be filled with pride and will slaughter many thousands, yet he will not remain triumphant. The king of the north will muster another army, larger than the first. After several years, he will advance with a huge army fully equipped. In those times, many will rise against the king of the south. Those who are violent among your own people will rebel in fulfillment of the vision, but without success. Then the king of the north will come and build up siege ramps and will capture a fortified city. The forces of the south will be powerless to resist. Even their best troops will not have the strength to stand. The invader will do as he pleases. No one will be able to stand against him. He will establish himself in the beautiful land and will have the power to destroy it. He will determine to come with the might of the entire kingdom and will make an alliance with the king of the south. He will give him a daughter in marriage in order to overthrow the kingdom, but his plans will not succeed or help him. Then he will turn his attention to the coastlands and will take many of them, but a commander will put an end to his insolence and will turn his insolence back on him. After this, he will turn back toward the fortresses of his own country, but will stumble and fall to be seen no more. This is somebody after Alexander. His successor will send out a tax collector to maintain the royal splendor. In a few years, however, he will be destroyed, but not in anger or in battle. He will be succeeded by a contemptible person who has not been given the honor of royalty. He will invade the kingdom when his people feel secure, and he will seize it through intrigue. Then an overwhelming army will be swept away before him. Both it and the Prince of the Covenant will be destroyed. After coming to an agreement with him, he will act deceitfully, and with only a few people he will rise to power. When the richest provinces feel secure, he will invade them and will achieve what neither his fathers nor his forefathers did. He will distribute plunder, loot, and wealth among his followers. He will plot the overthrow of fortresses, but only for a time. So I'm not sure exactly what ruler he's speaking about here. This is all prophesying about things from back before Jesus. I'm not picking up a correlation between now, but it's a correlation between many things throughout history. With a large army, he will stir up his strength and courage against the king of the south. The king of the south will wage war with a large and very powerful army, but he will not be able to stand because of the plots devised against him. Those who eat from the king's provisions will try to destroy him. His army will be swept away, and many will fall in battle. Two kings with their hearts bent on evil will sit at the same table and lie to each other, but to no avail, because an end will still come at the appointed time. The king of the north will return to his own country with great wealth, but his heart will be set against the Holy Covenant. He will take action against it and then return to his own country. At the appointed time, he will invade the south again, but this time the outcome will be different from what it was before. Ships of the western coastlands will oppose him, and he will lose heart. Then he will turn back and vent his fury against the Holy Covenant. He will return and show favor to those who forsake the Holy Covenant. If we are thinking today, he's speaking about Israel, Russia, and U.S. coming from the west. Not sure. His armed forces will rise up to desecrate the temple fortress, will abolish the daily sacrifice. Then he will set up the abomination that causes desolation. So this could be speaking about what's coming. Army from the north, king from the north. The most powerful we think of is Russia. Could be Turkey, backed by Russia. Time will tell. And it will set up the abomination that causes desolation. With flattery he will corrupt those who have violated the covenant. But the people who know their God will firmly resist him. Speaking about the Pope, or future Pope. Present Pope, as I said, is controlled by a demon. Those who are wise will instruct many. Again, don't think because somebody is possessed by a demon, you assume that they're going to only do evil. Evil's behind all their plots and schemes and falsehoods. They're in a position of controlling, deceiving a lot of people. Then they're going to be false-faced, false tongue, deceptive. They're not going to show their hand and show their true nature. That'll just scare people away. Those who are wise will instruct many, but for a time they will fall by the sword or be burned or captured or plundered. When they fall, they will receive a little help, and many who are not sincere will join them. Some of the wise will stumble so that they may be refined, purified, and made spotless till the time of the end, for it will still come at the appointed time. And this is occurring, they may have returned because they've been purified. The king will do as he pleases. He will exalt and magnify himself above every god, and will say unheard of things against the God of gods. He will be successful until the time of wrath is completed, for what has been determined must take place. So now they are speaking of Revelations. What's going on? He will show no regard for the gods of his ancestors, or for the one desired by women, nor will he regard any god, but will exalt himself above them all. Instead of them, he will honor a god of fortresses, a god unknown to his ancestors. He will honor with gold and silver, with precious stones and costly gifts. He will attack the mightiest fortresses with the help of a foreign god, and will greatly honor those who acknowledge him. He will make them rulers over many people, and will distribute the land at a price. At the time of the end, the king of the south will engage him in battle, and the king of the north will storm out against him with chariots and cavalry and a great fleet of ships. I don't think chariots, future time, present time, will be chariots as we know chariots to be modern day chariots. He will invade many countries and sweep through them like a flood. He will also invade the beautiful land. Many countries will fall, but Edom, Moab, and the leaders of Ammon will be delivered from his hand. He will extend his power over many countries. Egypt will not escape. He will gain control of the treasures of gold and silver and all the riches of Egypt with the Libyans and Cushites in submission. The reports from the east and the north will alarm him. He will set out in a great rage to destroy and annihilate many. He will pitch his royal tents between the seas at the beautiful holy mountain. Yet he will come to his end, and no one will help him. Speaking of the king of the south, the king of the north, nobody will help the king of the north, so he will come to his end. At that time, Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise. Now it's speaking, referencing to Ben. Interesting that Michael, Archangel Michael, is the leader of God's legions. At that time, Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise. It will be a time of distress such as has not happened from the beginning of nations until then. But at that time, your people, everyone whose name is found written in the book, will be delivered. Multitudes who sleep in the dust of the earth will awake. If they have, it's happened a little while ago. Some to everlasting life, others to shame and everlasting contempt. It's their choice. That's what's been going on. Those who are wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who lead many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. Those chosen and gifted who are doing so now and have been doing so. But you, Daniel, roll up and seal the words of the scroll until the time of the end. Many will go here and there to increase knowledge. So, where that be part of Daniel seal up more and hide it. Somebody hid something that's going to be revealed. It's going to change a lot of people's understanding. And a lot of people still refuse to believe. Then I, Daniel, looked, and there before me stood two others, one on this bank of the river, and one on the opposite bank. One of them said to the man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, how long will it be before these astonishing things are fulfilled? The man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, lifted his right hand and his left hand toward heaven. And I heard him swear by him who lives forever, saying, it will be for a time, times, and half a time. When the power of the holy people has been finally broken, all these things will be completed. So time, times, and half a time. What is time to God? When the power of the holy people has been finally broken, all these things will be completed. Who are the holy people? Hebrews, Jews, Muslim, Christians, everybody who believes. The power of the holy people has finally been broken. All these things will be completed. I heard but did not understand, so I asked, my Lord, what will the outcome of all this be? He replied, go your way, Daniel, because the words are rolled up and sealed until the time of the end. Many will be purified, made spotless and refined, but the wicked will continue to be wicked. None of the wicked will understand, but those who are wise will understand. So ask for that discernment again, so you're part of the wise who understand, not part of the wicked who don't. Then you'll be purified, made spotless and refined, which has been going on. From the time that the daily sacrifice is abolished, the abomination that causes desolation is set up, there will be 1290 days. Blessed is the one who waits for and reaches the end of the 1335 days. As for you, go your way till the end, you will rest, and at the end of the days you will rise to receive your allotted inheritance. So as for you, Daniel, go your way until the end, and you will rest, you will sleep, and at the end of the days you will rise to receive his allotted inheritance, which I'm sure he has by now. So what are the 1290 days? 1335 days. Well, what's a day to God? Can't take it literally as actual days. But from the time that the daily sacrifice is abolished, what is the daily sacrifice? Well, I've instructed to show everybody that daily, 3 times a day, offer up your guilt and sin. That's a daily sacrifice. If some future message that abolishes that, or has something to do with the physical world, the churches being shut down, the daily sacrifice, was it the end of prayer in schools? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if anybody's supposed to know, understand fully. But from the time that the daily sacrifice is abolished, and the abomination that causes desolation is set up, there'll be 1290 days. Could this be something that's happened already with the Catholic Church that we did away with? And the abomination that causes desolation, the demon that controls the Pope. Not sure. 1290 days is, if you're looking at literal days, is that Hebrew days in our calendar? Is it days on our calendar? What is it? I think it's 365 days. 365 point something days. Scientifically, in the year, 1290 is less than 3 years, less than 4 years. 1335, it's 1200, 260, 1460, that's not even 4 years. So, not sure. Again, what's a day to God? So, but continue to ask for discernment, continue to focus on Him, so that when your time comes, when the time comes during your lifetime, you understand, you perceive, and discern who is telling the truth and who is not. Because there is only one truth, and that's God, and that comes from God. So be ready. So we'll pick up next time. We even did a long 3 major prophets: Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel. So we'll start with Ezekiel, 48 chapters. So it'll take a while. We'll start on that next time. We go over the Bible. Until that time, all this openings going on, be extra careful, and help others too. Help others. When you're helping others, God smiles at that. But if you're suffering, you're going through a difficult time, whatever it may be, if you reach out to others at that time, he smiles even more. That's even bigger to him. That ties into what in the New Testament, where the rich men were giving to help the poor, and the poor widow came out and gave a large amount of what she had, which is very little. So percentage-wise, she gave much more. Jesus chastised the wealthy who gave less of their portion than she did. So that ties into this, what I just said, that when everything's going great, and you're giving and you're helping others, that's wonderful. When you're going through difficult, you're poor in wealth, poor in spirit and heart, emotions, hurt, and physical illness, poor in health, and helping others, just like that widow. And that's adding treasure to your treasure account in heaven. Which again, God will not even take away himself from that. It continually builds. So, food for thought, and that reminds me of something in Psalm 139. I think it was 139, no, not 139. 39, I'm sorry. Psalm 39. Psalm 39. In verse 5, everyone is but a breath, even those who seem secure. Seem out there happy, elated, wealthy, and so forth. Even their life is but a breath. Surely everyone goes around like a mere phantom. In vain they rush about, heaping up wealth, without knowing whose it will finally be. They accumulate all this wealth, but to leave them to the descendants who will squander it, or to leave to charity, or to leave to government. All that they attain always ends up going away. As soon as they pass away, or sometime after, somebody else takes it over. Think of all the corporations that founded, they have wealthy families and they lost it. Or was bought out by somebody else, comes along. So, fools. In vain they rush about heaping up wealth, without knowing whose it will finally be. So, everything is but a whisper in this world. Waste time accumulating, seeking the accumulating fame, fortune, possessions, power. It's fleeting. It's a waste of time. Again, read Ecclesiastes. Read Ecclesiastes. And you should be changed by it. Peace of Christ. God bless.